Did you know that Lee Iacocca, the guy that gave us these units, the original Mustang, did you know that he also was on, you know, in some way responsible for the Dodge Viper? And if you say no, I totally didn't know that, that's okay, because I did, and now I'm letting you know. So, the last time that I was in this car, I accidentally left the key on. And it's easy to do because I say key, you don't have to have the key in this. It just turns over. So, the way I have the Terminator X set up, that you get the ignition hot by turning the switch over, but then the Terminator X itself is wired up to a switch with a relay and a fuse and all that good stuff. But you flip the switch, everything comes on, and then it'll start. Well, when I moved it last, I moved it from a little bit over there on the side of the carport to in here because I noticed that it was still leaking water in it when it sat outside. So I was like, I've got to get it back into the carport. And as soon as I pulled it back in here, I just flipped the switch for the Terminator X and just got out and shut the door, and the rod fell off the outside handle, and I was like, well, I'll just worry about that later, I guess. So currently I have to open the door from the passenger side. This thing, I'm remembering a lot of things are coming back from when I was younger and having these. I mean, even as nice as my first one was, it just absolutely fell apart so often. I mean, the clutch cable would break. I had a King Cobra clutch in it, probably had a stock cable in it, and it would break. And I mean, it would probably break every 2 to 3 months. It was just insane. Of course, now I was being an idiot in it, but anyway. So, left the key on. Now the battery's dead. So, what we're gonna do before I start ripping everything apart and we start yanking this out of the car, I want to check a few things, because when I sat and thought about it a little bit longer, I was like, well, this thing was surprisingly tough to turn over at the crank bolt. And when I say surprising, like, Honda motors make more compression than this. You know, obviously I get it, there's not as many cylinders, there's twice as many here, but we're talking, you know, high 10 something compression, and one of these is actually a high compression. You know, like for a Honda that's like a little bit, but normally like most of the, you know, Honda 4-cylinders are like 10 flat to 1. So those you just roll right over. This doesn't really have that. You know, like in most engines that I've turned over, you have that spot where you're building the compression, and then when it lets go, it rolls over. You know, this doesn't have that. This just is. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna pull the plugs out of it, and we're just gonna check compression first, and then second, I think, before we yank this out of the car and we just chalk it up to time and chain. And I want to check compression, and I want to make sure that our push rods are right. We don't have any valve spring issue. Like I said, it's really hard to turn over. So I want to do that. I think looking at the harness, since I said something, I think I said something in last video about the Holley Terminator X, I ended up getting the wrong harness for it. So I ended up getting a universal forward harness instead of the Fox Body specific. So it did not have the IC harness in it, and I think I wired that up wrong. So I think that's one of my issues why it doesn't run that well. But I think the other issue why it's hunting timing like crazy is from the timing chain being loose. you can definitely hear it moving around there while it's running. And I think compression is the first thing I'm going to check. So let's pull all these spark plugs out. You've seen spark plugs come out, so I'm going to do that, and then when we're ready to put the tester on it, I'll get back with you. Got the plugs out, and you guys, make sure that I'm putting it on the right one here. There we go. You guys are going to watch this. Put you right up here to this tester. And we're gonna see we got the numbers we want. Watch this little unit right there. See what it does. Where we at? So yeah, so all of ours are in between 125 and 150 psi. Okay. So now, with our compression being proven to be pretty good, I'm gonna try and see if I can get this hood up higher so we get some light. Maybe right there will work. Flip that around. Put it on something with an edge. There we go. Yeah. All right. So now I need to figure out where top dead center is. I need to make sure the distributor is going the right way. I need to make sure that my timing mark is dead on. And if that is right, because I'm pretty sure I've already done that before, if that's right, then I'm gonna go after the IAC. Make sure that that's wired up correctly. I'm pretty sure it's not. Make sure that that's wired up correctly, and then after that, we'll just try to run it again probably. Either way, I think at this point it's going to come out. I really want to put an engine together for it, or get an engine, like buy a ready to go engine, which I don't think that's going to happen. Those things are like $4 or $5 grand, and I don't want to buy another engine that's just been sitting in someone's yard like I did with this 91 block that is in terrible shape. So I'm going to take this one out. We're still going to do the pistons. I may not pull the pistons out of this block. I think I'm just going to get rid of this motor and all that stuff. I think I'm going to put a decent set of pistons in it, decent set of rods in it, and then go over all the bottom end with a fine tooth comb. Probably put a better oil pump in it, something aftermarket, something a little bit high pressure, and then basically, you know, we'll be starting from scratch. So be my Anderson cam, put the lifters in it, get all that stuff done. I haven't decided on heads. Depending on the pistons that I go with, if I just go with a factory like E7 piston, or your factory roller piston, you know, we may just put E7s on it and let it ride. But I know that GT40s are supposedly a good upgrade. I remember that from when I had my first one. Everybody was talking about GT40s. So let's make sure that our timing mark, our distributor point, and our piston in the cylinder all match the way they're supposed to be, and then we'll go from there. That right up with there it is. My GoPro is about to go dead, and when it does that, it's going to be pretty much time to call it a night, unfortunately. But for now, I just want to make sure that my marks and everything line up correctly. Because if they don't, that's going to be my whole issue. But I did notice that whenever I pulled the plugs out, they were extremely wet with fuel. I don't know if you can see the piston. It's right there. My mark is up there, that little white guy, and then that's my mark right there on the block. So it's a little off, but we're kosher up here, and it's pointing back to cylinder 1, and I did confirm that on the distributor placement. So it's not that this was 180 degrees out, it's that I just wasn't on the compression stroke like everyone said. Yep. So anyway, so now that we know that, and we know that this guy jumps around all the time while it's running, we know our top dead center is correct, we know that our distributor is not out, that's correct. And we know that our compression is pretty decent. I think that our original assumption of the timing moving too rapidly for everything to keep up is correct. I would venture to say that this timing chain is definitely stretched. To confirm that, I think before I pull it out, since this has to come off and all of this crap and all that, I think we're gonna yank that stuff off while the motor's in the car and then just see, because I really want to figure out why this thing doesn't run well. I want to make sure that that timing chain isn't an issue. If it's not, fine, we'll just yank the motor, do what we're gonna do to it, we'll pull it back in, and we'll go over here, to my IC wiring. We'll make sure that none of that is messed up. Hell, I could have a vacuum leak somewhere. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I don't, because I have all new gaskets up top. But, definitely a possibility. Like, what if the lower intake manifold's leaking? Because I've only had the top piece off and replaced those gaskets. I haven't taken the actual intake off, like the lower plenum off of this engine. So I could have a vacuum leak in there somewhere, So I think that we are, also, for any Fox Body guys, if you have noticed this belt and are absolutely screaming that it's not the right routing and it's not the right belt and I don't know what the hell you're doing, you are correct that it is not the right belt, and I do not know what I'm doing at all when it comes to these things. So the people who don't know are learning with me, and I'm giving a bunch of bad information so that you can go, oh yeah, there it is, and then I say, no, wait, actually I was wrong, after you're already in this, and I'm telling you wrong stuff. So that's kind of my job. That's what a YouTube mechanic's all about. So I think that we're going to stop here for the night, and then when I come back out here, we're just going to absolutely rip into this thing. And just take the front cover off. Make sure that my timing chain is stretched or whatever, what have you, and just go from there. Just take the coolant out, take the pump off, take all the accessories off the front of the motor. It's coming out regardless. I'm not going to leave it in here. I really, really, really want a cam, and the only way that I can achieve that is by swapping pistons or cutting valve reliefs in these pistons with these heads. Now, if I had E7 heads, I'm pretty sure that you can get away with that, but it would be lower compression, yada, yada, yada. It just doesn't work well. So I want a cam in this thing more than anything. I really, 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 like really, really, okay? If you don't get that, it's really bad. I really want a cam. What is a classic V8 without a cam? It's nothing. So I think that's gonna pretty much do it for tonight. I figured I'd walk around real quick and kind of show you this thing though, because I really didn't do that before. I kind of showed you some video of it, but I didn't show you all of it. So we got the Recaro seats in here. I got a new dash pad, but it's black. That was the only one that they offered. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a black one. Put new carpet in here. Here's my little Holley Terminator X thingy. I think I'm gonna swap to a Hurst shifter. I think I'm also going to swap the cluster for one of those, like, it's like Dakota digital knockoffs. Like, I can't spend the kind of money that they want for them, but I can definitely, you know, blow some money on a replica that's not gonna work, you know, half as well. So we'll see. I also got to get in here and clean up all this wiring. That's another reason that the engine's coming out. The steering rack's bad. I got a new rack. I told you about the mount fiasco with the K-member. K-member's coming out. I'm gonna put a tubular K-member in it, new mounts, all that stuff, and just get this thing to where I can just cruise in it. You know, I can just take it places. So that'll about do it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, that's fine. Tell me. Put a little comment down there and say, hey dude, you're stupid and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I don't, you're right. So just leave me a comment. If you feel like liking it, that's cool. If you don't want to like it, that's also cool, I guess. You're just mean. So anyway, see you next time I look at you. It's early and it's cold. It is currently 34 degrees out here. Well, we gotta get started on this car. This blueberry Death Wish coffee is life. It is also weeks after the first segment of this video. We had some intense freaking cold weather come through. If you've been paying attention to the weather in the southeast, or you live in the southeast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It has been very cold, and here in Alabama, it went through Mississippi, up through Tennessee, and then back through Georgia. So somehow we just got brutal cold. Like, we got a little bit of precipitation, but not very much at all. There are thousands and thousands of people without power, I think, still. And this is going on 2 weeks, so it's bad, and it has not gotten above freezing very often. So the plan is, hood's coming off. I mean, this thing's so fast it probably came off at some point anyway. But we've got to take the hood off. I think I'm pulling engine and trans together. I was originally going to pull the valve covers and check everything, the push rods and all that stuff, because I honestly haven't done that yet. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, our compression was like linear almost across the board. So I don't know. I don't think that's really worth it. Then I started thinking about timing. And I was like, well, if our timing was off, wouldn't our compression be off? So I think I'm just gonna pull it. We're just gonna pull it, we're gonna pull it apart. In this video, we're gonna pull it at least out. I need to at least get it out of the car, because that's one of the biggest hurdles for me, has been coming out here and just yanking everything out of the car. I just need to take it all back apart, pull the motor out. So, a good buddy of mine, ironically with the same name as me, Will, has a tubular K-member. So I've got to get control arms and, you know, some other odds and ends and stuff like that. I got to finish the 5-lug swap in the front. It's currently still 4x108, the 108. The rear was swapped, but I guess because they couldn't make up their mind on what to do for the front because there's so much information. You know, some people say that you can just swap, you know, 87, 93 spindle and then, you know, get the kit from LMR or whatever. And then like what I'm gonna do is go, I think it's 83, 87 Ranger front. We'll figure that out when we get there, and I'll make sure I document it and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna enjoy my coffee a little bit longer, and then we're gonna get started. Does this have 17 billion different? Those are 13s, and this lower one over here is a 12, and the upper one I think is a 10. Right on. Rock on, freaky bro. Is this a 10? It is a 10. Okay. Oh, I bet this is gonna suck. Ow! Holy freaking crap, man. Don't put your fingers in between the hood and the fender. Ow. Ow. Ow, dude. That freaking hurt, man. Oh my god. Okay, now can I do that? Oh, okay. Okay, I don't think I'm strong enough to put that up there. So I think we're just gonna set this over here somewhere. Whew. Shoot, man, that looks rad. We'll just leave it off. You know, I like Hondas and stuff. You know, that's real big in the Honda community. It's just taking your hoods off. That's what all the really cool guys do that build really expensive Hondas. They just keep their hood off. That way you can see the engine, all the hard work that they put, and all the 15s and 20s and thousands of dollars they put into building a 4-cylinder. I'm not knocking it. I mean, I don't necessarily say I get close, but I definitely spent more on the Integra than I think I've spent on this. I think, as far as parts, definitely the Integra parts were more expensive. Okay. Now we are draining coolant. Both of my catch cans are currently full, so I'm gonna go recycle them and then I'll be back. Ran to the old recycling store. You were going to be a biatch, aren't you? There we go. Thank you. Figures. Mud water. God. Oh. God. Thing's crazy. You like my goblet? I like it too. It's pretty sweet. I like coffee, and I like Death Wish coffee. And you know what? Honestly, I don't care about anything else. If our channel gets big enough to where Death Wish is like, hey, what do you think about, you know, a little bit of this? I'd be like, yeah, let's go. The other thing is, with this, it gives me the opportunity to upgrade things, which is also girl speak for spend more money. But I'm only talking to guys, so like that doesn't apply here. So just, hey, I gotta replace this. I don't know how you have to spend it to yours, but you know, it is what it is. The mechanical fan, that's going away. We're going E-fan. By the time this goes back in, it could be, I don't know. You saw what happened to the Jeep. It's still back there. I just, you know, the motor's still over here. I found this, and then I found a car before it, and then I found the S10, and then I found, you know, it's a rabbit hole, dude. I'm sure that most of you guys can relate. You probably have a lot of projects, if you're like me, which actually I sold a lot of them. I currently have no Hondas. Not a single one. Currently only have 2 domestics, 2 GMs, a Jeep, and the Mustang. Technically, I have a 67 Beetle, or 68 Beetle, but that's for another time. I don't know if you'll ever see that car. You might, but we'll get there when we get there. AC has to go back on this car, 100%. That was Samantha's request. So, you know, you find something and then you use it as leverage. You know, hey, I'll put AC back on it. I just need a Vortec supercharger. That was a 13. No. That was a 12-10. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that was. These cables are getting replaced. I mean, all of this stuff is getting replaced. It really wanted to fight and to fight and to fight and to fight. And I'm tired of fighting it. Well, what did I put this on here with? Is that a 13? Yeah. Okay. I remember this being super finicky. I think I'm gonna get those block terminals where, you know, it's attached to the battery, but then you've got your connections over here. They're real popular with the audio guys, serious audio guys. Gibbs has been telling me to order a set. I think since I got the Terminator X. Oh God. God, these are the worst cutters. I need to get some new ones. Golly, these are terrible. Goodbye. I'm not going to reuse it because we're going to have more accessories on it when it goes back in. So, goodbye. So what I'll probably do is convince myself that it's easier to leave the transmission in the car and then go to pull it, and it'll fight me and fight me and fight me till eventually I have to put the engine and the transmission back together and then pull them together. That's probably what's going to happen. Do yourself a favor also. If your hose clamp looks like this, don't reuse it. They're cheap enough. Just go get another one. I have chased leaks and not understood, and it ended up being a clown. So just do yourself a favor, man. Maybe not make a mess. Yay! Didn't make a mess. So, our harness is completely out of the way. Now, I think maybe we can take the rest of these coolant hoses out of the way. I don't know. Oh, actually, I'm not even halfway with battery. I'm at 42%. So that's good. So I'm gonna have to change to a different camera soon. That's fine. But I've got all of this done. And there's our nice BBK shorties, and I'm gonna try and see if I can get you in there close enough. No, the fuel lines are kind of, oh, maybe. I don't know if you can see in there, but that's the engine mount, and I literally had to put a socket in that engine mount because it droops down so low I couldn't put the header on. So I was like, well, no problem, I'll just unbolt it from the K-member and lift it up and then bolt it back up. Well, I put my ratchet on it and it just spun, and I was like, okay. And then I got up here and I noticed that literally the weld for the stud that goes through the K-member had broken off. For somebody who has all of that, that is not a very big issue. They would just lean in there and go and tack it back up and be like, all right, cool. For me, it was literally like, oh, great. So now I'm going to spend 4 hours on this. So I lifted it up the best I could. I loosened it with, I think I had a pry bar, and I was just adding so much pressure to that thing, and just loosened little by little, got it up, stuck a socket in it, let it droop back down, and I was like, that's good enough for now. It's like, I'll change that later. Our only intention was to see if I could drive this thing and it was going to run right, and it did not. So now there's some stuff that I did that were very correct, and there's some stuff that I did very just half-ass to see if I could get it to drive. And I was like, I'll fix that later. I'm going to put a different K-member in it anyway. That time is now. I'm gonna unhook fuel lines. I've got to get under and unhook the exhaust. I think we might be able to just remove the radiator and then pull this whole thing forward once the mounts are unbolted from the engine, and then just yank them out. We'll see. This guy, that guy needs to come out. Oh, fuel lines. That's what I was working on. Is it this one? No. It's not that one. Is it this one? No. It's not that one either. This one. Nope, not that one. It's this one. Oh, perfect fit. Oh, come on, baby. Dude, what am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing. I think that's part of the problem. Okay, well, whatever. Keep your freaking secrets. I don't understand. I don't understand this. Screw it. Take the bolts out. Throw it all in the garbage. Was it a 10? Nope. Was it an 8? Yes, it was. Oh! Why? Why do you do these things to yourself, William? God. Let's just drip all that on the ground real quick. That way when I get under there, it'll just be all in my face. Am I too small? Or am I too big? Nah, just kidding. That's what we're gonna do. We're just going to put the gasoline right on this fender. That way maybe it'll give us some cool color or something like that out of it when the gasoline wears through that paint. It's one of the best things about having just a dingy, not good paint job. And on this side, it looks like it's original. But on that side, I'm pretty sure they had to replace that door. And I think it was red. And I think they sprayed from the fender all the way to the taillight. So it's all relatively newish flat black. But I'm gonna scuff all of that and then clear it. But that's way ahead. I'm talking way ahead. Getting ahead of myself. That's for sure. That's what I do. That's what I do best. Nice. We have powers and stuff and things. Yay. Alright, so now we're on the Sony, and I hope you can hear me alright. I haven't pulled the mics out in a long time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get under there, I'm going to unhook the exhaust, and when I come back up here, I'll start recording again and get these headers out. So I'm just going to crawl under there. It's 4 bolts, not that big a deal, but I gotta crawl around on the ground. It's just easier not having to take the camera with me, so I'm gonna leave you out there. And we'll be back in a minute. Alright. So, I got the ones on the bottom side disconnected. So now, I gotta get these headers off. Luckily, they're not too bad. The forums told me that I should definitely get longer bolts to prevent exhaust leaks, because these just don't bite that well. I didn't listen, and guess what I had? Yep, I did. I did not take this motor mount loose. There we go. Yay! Success. Alright. We are now going to pull the radiator. Nope. Some of them are 3/8, some of them are 10s. I can't explain it. Okay, do I have any objections to this just coming straight up? Nope. Sick. The next task, set that back over there, is getting these hilariously wrong heater hoses out of my face. And you know, this thing has just been, I don't know if this car's ever been rebuilt. Like, I don't know if this has ever been out. I think it's just slowly gotten pieced together from owner to owner when something went bad, which makes sense. I mean, that totally makes sense. But then somewhere down the line, I'm pretty certain that something happened internally to this motor. I don't know what happened yet, but I'm almost positive something is not right. Whether it be a valve spring or something. I don't know. I don't know yet. But we're going to find out. Believe in that. Alright, we are going to cut those, because we do not need those anymore. And whenever you do heater hoses, I do know at least this much. You want to cut them off of the heater core. You do not want to try to squeeze these with pliers, because it never, ever goes well. You just end up just to the heater core. Well, that one's out. I don't know about you, but I would much rather replace a couple cooling hoses than put a heater core on this thing. Pretty sure you would agree. Nope. How about this one? Ooh, that one works. Okay. Yep, that just broke off the alternator. So guess what I'm also replacing? Yeah. Okay. There ain't any bolts holding this cable on the rack. Okay. Nope. Okay. Alright then. Well, we don't need any of that, I guess. Great. I guess we can go ahead and take that off, can't we? Can I take this off? Should I go ahead and take that off? Maybe I should go ahead and take that off. Sure. I mean, let's take another thing off. We'll just take it off. We'll just take that off. That's fine. And then you go back together with it, and you're like, where did this go? Because I don't remember. Starter cable. Can go away for now. By the way, if you do any of your own work, you need to go to Harbor Freight and get one of these packs of these towels. I'm nowhere close to being sponsored. I really don't think I have to tell you that, but when stuff works and they're cheap, it's awesome. This stuff, this 50 pack, I think I got a couple months ago. And these paired with those like tub towels, they're amazing, dude. Amazing. Stupid standard stuff. 11/16 fits perfectly. Who would have thought? Standard. Strange. Okay, and that kind of looks like a 9/16. Man, I'm learning. I'm getting there, but it's still stupid. Wait. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Why that was always bowed. It was always like this. I take one of them loose. That makes a lot of sense now. Wow. Okay. Well, let's take this one out then, I guess. All right, power steering pump engaged. Can I give you some light to where you can actually see what I'm doing? How about that? Can you see? You can see a little bit, right? See that guy right there? Yeah, that needs to come out. So, let's see. Dang, first try, boy, I'm getting good at this. Not trying to, say anything or talk any smack, but, I mean, damn. Oh, man. Goodness. Okay. So we are insanely close. Very, very, very close. Okay. I really want to listen to some music and just go back over this, make sure I've got everything disconnected. Once everything's disconnected and we're ready for the engine hoist, I'll start the camera back up. It's taking a bit too long with the camera and all that stuff, and you've seen me just finger a bunch of bolts. So I don't know if that's your thing, or if you're just ready to see me fight this thing on its way out. So I'm gonna give you that satisfaction in just a minute. But I'm gonna stop the camera, do that off camera, get the clutch unhooked. That's I've got the clutch cable, I've got bell housing bolts and engine mounts, and that's it. Everything else is done. Oh, and drain oil. So yeah. All right, so we have everything unhooked, and I want to say this in the nicest way I can. Every trans bolt was loose. Every one of them. I started to hit the mount bolts, and the first one I hit is also loose. So I don't know. Maybe it had a clutch, and they pulled the trans off and then put it back in, and yeah. So it's not as of right now, it's not the best quality I've seen, but that's fine. It is what it is. I think this is what deters so many people away from buying other people's projects, which it's kind of hard to do, or hard not to have to deal with an 80s car, a 90s car, even an early 2000s car, and it's massively big with these, obviously. Your F-body Camaros, massive, and your Hondas. I mean, it's, if you get one that hasn't been tampered with its whole life, you might as well keep it forever, because if you don't want somebody else's project, that's what you're gonna have to look for. Because I mean, this is just par for the course. People leave stuff loose. That doesn't pertain to anything the way this thing was running. If anything, it made my job easier, so I'm not really complaining about that. It's just that now I'm a little bit more skeptical. I'm a little bit more worried, a little bit more reserved, I guess. We're loose. We're loose. We're good. Oh yeah, it's a big fan of that. That makes sense. It did not like that angle. But that makes a whole lot more sense now. Put that back right there. Can you see what I see? More coming out. More coming out for me. All right. Now I guess we just go straight on up with it. No, Will, don't use ratchet strap. Don't do that. It's gonna fall. Well, if it does, I won't be under it. So it doesn't really matter, does it? As far as safety goes, you think I care about this engine that much? No, I'll probably ruin the oil pan. It's not gonna do any damage internally, probably, maybe. It's fine. Either way. It's fine. You gotta stress too much. You gotta get some of that stress out of your life. Alright. Slowly, but faster. But maybe a little slower. Shoot, yeah, son. She's out. She is out, baby. Come on out here. Come on out here. No, quit doing what you're doing and just come out. Oh God, I'm snagged. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoa. Whoa, easy. Easy, dude. What are you doing? Alright. For now, I'm gonna set this on the ground. On my super clean mat that I've got over here. I'm just gonna set it right in front of the car now. All right, down we go. Oh, and then it just absolutely poured the rest of its coolant right here on the mat. Okay, great. That's good. That's good. Whatever. It'll soak into it, I think. Dude, would you stop? Like, how much coolant was in this thing? It is out. We now have an empty K-member. That's nice. You know, everything's a little easier to work on with the engine out of it. So, whenever you're having trouble, I mean, just pull the engine out. Works for me. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's an engine. Well, we did it. We successfully pulled the motor out on a cool but warmed up a little bit-ish Sunday. So pretty productive. Finally got this thing out. I'm so excited. So ready to tear into this thing. I'm hoping that the bolts are in better shape than the last one because that one sat for a long time. We may not have any luck, but you know, it is what it is. I gotta try and hope. You know, I'm doing all of these. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, man. If you liked it, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. Consider subscribing. I guess I've got to tell you that. Obviously, that's the only way that I'm gonna grow as a channel, right? And the fact that I need to do this more often. I need to keep on this and keep giving you guys stuff. So part of that is on me, part of it's on you. That's fine. I guess I should say it's more like a 98-2 ratio. 98% me, 2% you. But who's counting, right? Who's looking at those numbers? Nobody, I guess. So anyway, if you liked it, like it. It's free. If you want to see more of this stuff, make sure you put in the comments. If you're like, hey dude, you're stupid and you could have saved so much time by doing X, Y, and Z, let me know. If you saw me break something, you can tell me, I guess, but I probably already know that I did. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we put this engine on a stand and take it apart.